Hey, what's going on, everyone? Angel Cruz here, bringing you this brand new piece of content. It's been a while since I did any video training, so I figured let me just jump back in. I've been really busy working on my software. Project Nucleus, as most of you know, is a project management software. I'm working on relaunching the new version in the coming month. And it's very labor intensive, a lot of work involved. So I've been, busy doing that. But I've also been busy testing. I've been doing a lot of local lead generation, and I'm just coming up with new ways to rank, new ways to get traffic, and phone calls for lead generation campaigns. So I'm always like, in the laboratory cooking up something new, and just testing. And aside from that, just I've been definitely to myself for the most part of this year, just transitioning into new business models and new ideas that I want to execute on. And a lot of that takes time. A lot of that takes meditation as well. So here I am. I want to bring you guys this brand new piece of content, and it has to do with getting Google reviews to index in Google, and ways where you could kind of boost these Google reviews to help your snack pack rankings. Here we go. Okay, so I'm back off my hiatus and I'm ready to drop this awesome piece of content for you guys. Hope you enjoy it. So what we're going to talk about today is how to boost your Google reviews, how to get them indexed, and what can you do to maximize the reviews that you're getting for your map listings. Okay? So something we want to pay attention to is what URLs are Google indexing that you can take advantage of to boost and power up for your map listing. Okay? So the first type of links that Google's indexing are the Google contributor profiles, right? And there's currently about 11,000 results in the Google index, which tells me, it's fairly a small index for the amount of contributor profiles out there. There's room, for this to grow, of course. Let's take a look at an example. So this is an example of a contributor profile. So you can see this is a local guide profile level 5. And what it's going to show you is all of the different places that this local guide has done a review for. Okay. Now, if you click on any of these reviews, it's going to take you to the actual, review for the business. You can see the review they left from Mr. Scorpio, whatever it's called. And then there's a link that associates directly with the map listing. So if we click on this place details, you can see how it's tying right back to the map listing. Okay. So with these with these contributor profiles, you can actually get them indexed in Google. Okay. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. One of the best things for you to do nowadays is take advantage of the Google search operators just to get information. So if I do a site colon, and I do google.com/maps/contrib, you can see that we have about 11,000 profiles in the index. Okay. So something that you can do is you can actually, you can get those reviews. Like, let's say 5 people left you a review. You can actually, boost up those reviews by getting the contributor profiles found in Google's index. Okay, so I'll show you some examples here. So you can see here, same thing. This is a contributor profile, all the locations that was reviewed. Same here. Okay. So this is one thing you could take advantage of right away is, if you're manufacturing your own reviews, and I'm not saying, go ahead and do that, but let's just say you are, you're paying for somebody to leave you reviews. What you could do is on those profiles that's leaving a review, you might be one of the very few businesses that are actually being reviewed in that profile, since it's only used for that purpose. So you can go ahead and take that profile and kind of boost it up a bit, get it indexed. And usually when something indexes, you can obviously build links to it. You could boost up the power of that page. So just something to think about with contributor profiles. Now, this is where things get a little juicy, right? Now, let's look at Google indexed reviews. So we're going to do a site search right now, right? Site colon google.com/maps/reviews. Now let's take a look at this search string right here. So as you can see, there's about 38,000 reviews that are indexed in Google right now, which is a really low count if you consider, other avenues of, different types of things being indexed. 38,000 is nothing. Okay. So let me show you exactly what this is here. Click on this profile, click on this. So you can see here, this is the actual review of the business that's getting indexed, okay? And like I showed you before, this is a direct association with your map listing, right? If you click on place details, it'll take you directly to your map listing. Okay, if we look at the other map, same thing. So you can see the review, obviously response from the owner, and place details. So here's my logic, okay? The more reviews you can get indexed in Google that has that association to the map listing, the better off you are, with your overall map strategy. Most of these reviews aren't getting indexed, they're not getting pushed, they're just, they're nowhere to be found other than the actual GMB page. But with this, now you have a URL that you can actually share on the web. You could share on social profiles. You could build links to. There's a lot of things we could get into. I might cover this at a later date as far as the detail that we can get into. But just on a top level, this is very powerful here, okay? Because if you have a bunch of reviews, let's say you have 50 reviews, with that map association, the place details linking back to your map listing, that could prove as a very powerful strategy, because it's kind of like a boosted review in a way. You have a review that's actually indexed. And then there's ways to actually, make it more powerful, which I'll get to in the next slide. Okay, so we're going to juice these reviews. How are we going to juice them up? We're going to get likes from active Google accounts. So as you see here, you can actually like the review, right? And you could use micro workers. There's a bunch of things you could do, right? To kind of inflate these metrics, right? You could essentially get a bunch of likes to kind of validate this review, gives it more weight. So something that I would consider is, for all the reviews I get for my map listings, I'm gonna run a campaign separately just to get likes to each of these reviews to give it more of a trust factor, more of an authority factor. Okay. And the next thing you could do is build links to the shared URL. So if you notice, there's going to be a share button right here that you're going to click on, and you can either generate a short URL or the long URL, okay? And the long URL is what's getting indexed in Google, just like I showed you here. Okay, so we have about 38 in the index, but you can see here, like if you look at the URL, there's a data equals and then 1.4. It's all similar, right? If you look at the URL, I'll show you where it changes. So 1.4.5, all of this is the same up to 5.2. Okay. Now after 5.2, you see right here 5.2. Then the ID changes, I guess, for the place. Here's another example, right? So see 1S, 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 and then the ID changes for the actual place URL. See 1S, and then the ID changes. But anyway, my point is this: you could get these things indexed, which is pretty sweet. So with the shared URL, what I would do, take this URL here and build links to it. I would do anything I can to build links to this URL to boost it up, give it more power, because I know this URL has a direct association to my map listing. So what I would do is I would take both the short URL and I would take the long URL and just start building. You could build Web 2.0 links. You could build PBN links. You could link to these reviews from your actual money site, and I'll show you an example. So here's something I did for a client. We have a customer review section, and I added about, let me see, maybe like 3 or 4 reviews, but what I did was I hyperlinked the name, right? And if you look at the URL on the bottom left, you can see that it's the short URL for that review. But if we click on that, it's going to take you directly to that page that I'm talking about, where we have the map listing, place details association right here on the top. So my point is this, you could link to that URL from anywhere, okay? From the money site itself, from third-party sites, PBNs, guest, like just anywhere you want. So take full advantage of that. That's something that can carry a lot of weight. Now here's a tip that I want to give you, and this is pretty advanced because there's a delay in indexing nowadays, with like citations, Web 2.0s, and definitely with the reviews, it might take a little longer than you would expect. But what I'm here to show you is that it's possible, just based on this research here. What you could do is you can create an inner page on your website. So let's say this is the website I'm working on. I'm going to create an inner page called verified Google reviews, right? On this page, what I'm going to do is I'm going to list all my reviews and link out to the actual review page, like this. Okay, so I'm gonna link out to this review page, right? Either using a short URL or a long URL, either way. And once I create that page, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my webmaster tools and fetch that page so Google can crawl and index that page. So essentially what we want to do is have the Google bot hit that page and start, crawling all of those review links that we added to that page. So this could be a tip that you could use to kind of accelerate, the whole indexing time delay. Okay. Now, here's another tip I want to give you guys. If you had a choice between getting a review from just a regular account or a review from a local guide within that area, which one would you rather have? I mean, the answer should be obvious. So what I recommend is see what you could do to get Google Guides to review your business or your client's business, your lead generation business. Okay. It's very easy to get, an account approved for Google Guide. I mean, you don't really got to get approved. You just need to have a real account and, to start making map edits, contributing to maps. And then you can use that account to review certain businesses within the area, which makes sense. So, if I'm operating a business out of Dallas, Texas, and let's say I have 10 Google Guide accounts that I have somewhat access to, and I leave a review to my business, just best believe that's going to hold a lot more weight than just a regular Joe Schmo review. So just something to keep, just keep your mind on that. What can I do? Ask yourself, what can I do to get more Google Guide reviews, Google local guide reviews? Okay, it's a pro tip I want to leave you with. But this is the content I want to give you guys. It's been a while since I've done any video training, and like I said, I've been on a hiatus, working on projects, testing new strategies, and just kind of building myself back up. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. And stay tuned. I got something interesting that's coming out. Aside from my software that I'm redoing, I'm actually thinking of opening up a specialized program for people that want to start up lead generation as a side business. And we're talking about like just having everything done for you, so you don't have to worry about doing it. If that's something that you're interested in, leave me a comment, drop me a PM. But I will be dropping something in the next day or so. And I encourage you guys to check it out, see what I'm working on and see how this could benefit you. All right, guys, have a good Friday. Happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Take care.